Alrighty folks, so today we are finally going to start doing some work on this property line fence. This is in the turkey field, so kind of the opposite side of the farm from where the mill house is. So this fence through here, I put up some temporary stuff. You can maybe see the step-ins around through here to try and keep stuff where it was supposed to be, and it kind of worked as far as keeping the dog over on this side, but the neighbors' cattle have consistently just pushed straight through it. They don't really care about it. So I've talked with him and we're going to work on getting this torn out of here. The first step is for me to clean up the temporary stuff, and then I'm going to come through here with the skid steer and rip out all of this old fence that's in here. None of it's really worth saving. Actually, he did patch a little bit with some woven wire, but he's already pulled that out of there. So everything that's left is just going to get junked. Alright, well, I'm almost out of brace wire, but I think I should have enough to do this little one right up here. As you can see, this is up right near where the maples that we were tapping up here on the upper side of the turkey field. And I was wanting to get this upper post right up here near this old one here, but for one, I wasn't able to get the skid steer up here. It's just too wet and slippery, so I couldn't get that up here to drive it with, so I ended up having to dig this one by hand. And not only that, there were some roots here because of this maple, and so I wasn't able to get it right in tight to there, so we got like a 3-foot gap in between there. I'll have to fill in with some boards or woven wire or something like that. But either way, this one came out a little bit shorter than the rest of them, so I think what I've got left for this brace wire should be able to do this one, and then I'll have to pick up a little bit more of this tomorrow. I'm gonna cut both ends of this because it's on such a steep angle that if I don't, it's only gonna be pushing right on the corner of the post. So I want to try to get the cuts so that they're fairly parallel, I guess, to the posts. Alright, well, that's as far as I can go on this one until I get more brace wire tomorrow. Alright, hopefully that'll clear it all. Alright, so as you can see, the fence along the property line is very much not quite finished up yet. But I'm going to take a little gamble here, and I'm going to go ahead and open this gate up and let the cows, I think you can kind of maybe see them up in there, let them down into this field. I think I've got enough time to get the wires stapled up there. I'd like to at least get 2 more strands strung across there before we lose light today. That way the cows can get down here, they can start eating in here. There's barely anything left up in the field they're at, so they really aren't happy with where they're at. So in fact, they're already starting to come down this way because I think they think I'm gonna let them in. So we'll set you guys up off to the side and see if we can't get them moved down. Alright, well, it seems that all the cows decided to stay in the field last night, even though we didn't have all the wires hooked up, and, well, none of the wires were actually hooked up to electric either. They all stayed in here, and as if by magic, we now have all 6 strands on both sides of the gate. Right as I was getting going here this morning, well, he's not my neighbor, but the guy that runs the cattle on the neighbors, he saw me out here getting going on stuff, and he came over and helped me run the last couple wires there. So that kind of sped that up a little bit. That was nice. So I didn't bother pulling out the camera since he was helping, but those 2 strands are done, so we got all those in now. And now all that we got to do is we're just gonna hook together all these tails from the wire here, get all these connected at both ends of both of these sections of fence, and then tie this side of the gate to the fence down there that runs along the creek, And then we're going to tie this section to the fence that runs kind of along the top of the turkey field here. And then we can turn the electric onto here and everything should be charged. And hopefully we don't have any shorts anywhere. Just like with the other ones, we're leaving the bottom one separate. That'll be switched. So that way, if this is getting covered up in grass or snow or whatever, we can turn off that bottom wire so it's not shorting out the entire fence, and then just leave these top 5 ones connected up to the energizer. What are you doing? Are you inspecting my work? Don't touch the camera. This is what I have to put up with when you're working with animals in the same field as you. Don't. Here, we're just going to connect this tail around right onto here, and that section of fence going that way is already tied into our energizer, so this will be our source for this upper side of the gate. And of course we've got it open in here so we can slide a crimp over that, but we've already got this strung, so we've got one of these split crimps so that I can slide this part up here over top of the wire that's going horizontal, and then the closed hole can just slide over the tail that's our energized side of it. And I'm actually going to hook it up here just a little ways because this top wire is not super tight, and that way if I tighten it and it gets pulled this way, this crimp isn't right next to the insulator and it's not going to mess anything up. Gives us plenty of wiggle room here. And right now, these are always a little tricky. If one of you guys wants to just hop through the camera and come over here and give me a hand with this, that would be great. There we go. Alright, so that'll energize this upper section. Oh, yeah, that's right. We got to do the bottom one too, don't we? That tail is not going to be long enough. You guys even see down this low? No, you can't, can you? I think we're good to go for this section. We got one high spot right here where it's kind of hitting where the ground goes up near this tree, and so we gotta put in one of these composites first. Something like that, I think. See if I can do this without getting shocked. Come on. There we go. And then these two lead down to the bottom of the field. And how's this one? Okay, the lower one does the lower, upper one does the upper. I guess that kind of makes sense. There we go. So that should be energizing the whole field now. Alright, I think my boots were working a little bit too well. I just tried it on the other side, putting my hand on the ground, and I was able to feel it pretty decent then. Yeah, this side's not quite as strong as the other side, but it's definitely there. Now, I don't think I would want to grab onto that with a bare hand. So that is going to be it for today's video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.